Hey, you bastards. We watched Season 7, Episode 5, The Hot Tub.
I didn't know until I was writing the synopsis that those guys were supposed to be Texan.
What did you think they were?
You bastards. They sound like New Jerseyans.
They were from Houston.
Okay, when George said the Yankees are never coming to Houston, you bastards, I guess I should have clued in then.
When Mr. Williams said, we have a couple of people up from Houston and I'd like you to take them out.
I must not have been listening. But did they sound Texan to you?
They sounded Texanish.
No. Who were those actors? Who were the guest stars?
Hi, Katy.
Hello, Derek.
Did you like the hot tub?
Apparently not.
So Jeremiah Burkett, who played John Paul, who was not Texan.
Mm-hmm.
He was Trinidadian and Tobagan.
Toboggan?
He was in Police Academy, the series, Method and Red, the series, as well as Evan Almighty.
Oh.
On to the Bastards from Texas. Leon Russom played Clayton. Pretty Texas name there. He was in A Quiet Place, True Grit, and The Big Lebowski.
Oh. Interesting.
He was the police chief of Malibu.
I was going to say.
Stay out of Malibu, Lebowski.
Throw his coffee cup at him.
Ernie Lively played Zeke. It's a pretty Texas name. He was in Turner and Hooch, The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, and Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Stop or My Mom Will Shoot?
I think I have.
Sylvester Stallone and Estelle Getty?
No. I'm thinking of Throw Mama from the Train.
Maybe we should watch Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Charles Cyphers played Gardner.
That's a very Texan thing.
He was in Halloween, Assault on Precinct 13, and Major League. The other guest star that I'd like to highlight was Kate Mulligan, who played Sherry, the mother of the bastard.
Yeah. She
was in It's Gary Shandling's Show, Tenacious D, as well as an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
By the way, the what you call people from Trinidad and Tobago is Trinidadians and Tobagonians.
No.
Collectively known as Trinis.
Yeah, that works.
Or Trinbagonians. Nobody says that.
Sounds like something out of Star Trek.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm detecting something on my sensors. It apparently is some Trinbagobian doubles. You know, I think I could reverse the polarity on the deflector dish and cause it to create a polaron burst. We might be able to detect them.
So tell us about this episode.
This episode was written by Greg Cavett and Andy Robin. It was directed by Andy Ackerman and it aired on April 19th, 1995. Vulture.com ranked it as the 99th best episode. Screen Crush had it at 87th. IMDb gave it a 8.6 out of 10, and the fans somewhat liked it, ranking it as the 43rd best episode.
I don't know, IMDb. When I agree with you, I agree with you. When I don't, what are you doing? Everything is an 8.6 on IMDb.
The like rankings out of 10 for all of Seinfeld, the range there is like 8.3 and up.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of collisions.
Let's throw it back to last week when I asked you if you remembered the hot tub.
Kramer gets a hot tub. We get another little theme of missed wake-ups.
Well,
I think I nailed it.
Jerry helps marathon runner Jean-Paul, who overslept his last big race. George does business with Texans who swear a lot. Kramer gets a hot tub.
That happens.
In the opening stand-up, Jerry talks about silver medalists being the most frustrated people on the planet. Not only because they didn't win gold, but everyone asks them, how much did you lose by?
Smudge.
If I had a pimple that day,
Mm-hmm.
gold. I was thinking, gold medalists are happy. Silver medalists, maybe it dips down. Bronze medalists, thrilled.
I think there's a Seinfeld stand-up where he talks about, like, bronze medalist, you're like, well, at least I got something.
Yeah.
Gold medalist, you're on top of the world. Silver, it's like,
First loser.
Yeah.
So this Wake Up episode and the last Wake Up episode were written by different people. Do you think it was a coincidence?
Yeah.
Or they're like, we're going to do a Wake Up.
Well,
arc.
actually, Katie, what you don't realize is that, like, the middle third of season 7 is a whole wake-up arc.
Can you imagine? And they bring in the scripts for the season and they're like, oh, everyone's talking about sleeping in. Well,
Waking up in alarm clocks. Like, I do have a note where later on in there, Jerry is criticizing Elaine's alarm clock.
mm-hmm.
And it's like, she's like, it's good. It's good. Just a couple of days ago, she was using a wake-up guy.
Yeah. And they never mentioned this guy.
Well, I mean, it's like, it's a sitcom in the 90s. Like, the second the previous episode ends, everything that happened
Tabula
there
rasa.
is just like, poof, gone.
Yeah. I did laugh later when she put her muffin in for 2 minutes instead of 20 seconds.
You laughed at a couple of things.
You know who I wasn't laughing at? 1 minute of this entire episode? Kramer.
You laughed at Kramer.
I laughed when Jerry punched Kramer.
And he fell over, yes.
That's different.
Okay. Have you seen the thing? Did you send me the thing where the only button you actually need on a microwave is a plus 30 seconds button?
That's the only one I push.
It's the only one you need.
Yeah.
Popcorn button, never getting used.
Nope.
Defrost, nobody knows what it does.
I've tried. I can never defrost anything.
You press, if you want it less than 30 seconds, you press the 30 seconds and you take it out sooner.
Yep.
If you want it more, like, you're telling me 215 is really that different than 230?
I used to, so our microwave has a knob that you turn the time. I don't like it. I'm always going too far. When we had buttons, I would always do like 2 to 2, 1 1 1,
Yeah,
3 3 3,
88, 66,
yeah,
44,
88. Wild. I don't think in 88-second intervals.
It's a minute and a half.
I know, but I would probably do like 1 1 1.
That's not a minute and a half.
Then I would do it plus 30.
That's more than a minute and a
Oh
half.
my God. Do you remember how much those pull-out drawer microwaves cost?
Oh, yeah. When we went to like an appliance store when we were redoing our kitchen, and we just mentioned to them like, oh, we want to do an island with the microwave below. And they're like, oh, well, you have to get this
Drawer
microwave. And I think it was like $2,500. No,
it wasn't. In my head, I've never bought major appliances, so I'm like, I don't know what things cost. Microwaves, I don't know, $1,000? Maybe, sure. This thing, I kid you not, was $15,000, Derek.
I don't think so.
$15,000.
No.
Yes.
Well, we'll check the tapes.
Phew. That I remember. And then remember our contractors broke our dishwasher and we're like, we have to buy dishwasher. Oh man, we should get them to pay for it. No, it's fine. Da, da, da. And we went and the guy's like, yeah, this dishwasher, we didn't ask questions about price. We're like, this is what we want. We want it in like stainless steel with the handle, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like bracing myself for, I don't know, $5-6 grand. And he's like, okay, so this one's $1,500. And I like, start the card. It's so cheap. Why is a dishwasher the same price as a microwave?
It's not a microwave you can get for like $60.
So why did ours cost so much?
We got a nice one.
Yeah. With a stupid dial.
The stupid metal faceplate that we got for our microwave was as much as our microwave.
Yeah. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of. Altogether, the package. And remember when they, quote unquote, installed the microwave and they just put it in the slot, didn't plug it in, left the protective shipping plastic all over it with the vents.
Yeah.
And then put the faceplate on and screwed it in.
Yes.
Remember this? There could have been a fire.
Could have.
So we're talking about the J. Peterman catalog.
This is just a catalog about going and getting laid in another country. Which, frankly, I think would probably sell some shoes.
John Paul. Is his name John Paul?
I guess so. They kind of... I was unsure if they were like, oh, Jean Paul? Like...
Oh, yeah. I see what you mean.
Like, oh, Catherine?
Yeah.
Or if his name was literally John Paul.
How did you feel about how he was written in this episode?
Like it was very 90s.
Yeah.
It could have been worse.
Yep, you're right. Gotta give it that.
I mean, other than his accent, like why did he have to be from Trinidad and Tobago?
For the cultural misunderstanding of you bastards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that you could see that coming, and it was like, oh, don't do that. Okay.
Yeah, whatever.
So Jean Paul overslept the Olympics and missed the marathon.
Mm-hmm.
I just read on CBC an article about the actor who played Nick on The Wire.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Canadian actor. I forget his name. But he overslept on his first day of shooting The Wire. He was late by 3 hours. What a coincidence. You know, when we're talking and it's customary to say something or react to a person's story to keep the conversation going.
What do you want me to say to that?
I don't know. I always manage to do some, oh, yeah, remarks to your stories. I'll just sit here silently.
The Wire's pretty weird because it's like, okay, you got your first season. It's inner city drug problem. How are you going to push this further? I'm going to make this about dock workers.
White people. Yeah. Was it season 3 that was about the kids and it was too sad and I couldn't watch?
No, I think it was season 4.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I'd have to go back and check the tapes.
The one's right up there?
Yeah.
Did we borrow those from somebody?
We borrowed season 1.
Did we give it back?
No, I don't think so.
If we have your season 1 of The Wire on DVD.
I don't think they listen to the podcast regularly.
Oh, well then we're
sorry.
We're golden. Have you ever overslept or snoozed or missed a flight or something important?
No, because my nervousness and anxiety.
Yeah.
You can't sleep the night before something super important. You don't have a good restful sleep when you're oh, I have to wake up 2 hours early. You're doing the thing where you're waking up every few hours to check the clock and then
and then at some point you give up and you're well, it's 2 hours before I need to get up, but I can't risk going back to sleep now.
You just lay in bed until staring at the ceiling.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do think I have a little bit of a mental alarm clock though.
You regularly, well, I don't know. Your watch wakes you up, so I don't hear your alarm.
Yeah.
But
I bought a watch specifically that vibrates to wake me up so that you wouldn't hear my alarm.
I don't care because about my alarm because you're already out of bed when my alarm goes.
This morning, our daughter came downstairs. I had woken up and then she was in our bed.
Yeah.
And then she came downstairs and I said oh, did Mummy's alarm wake you up? And she said, yes. I said, oh, did Mummy wake up? She said, no. I was that tracks.
Uh-huh. I mean, was it last episode that I talked about? I gotta hit that sweet snooze.
Gotta hit that 14 hours sleep every night.
You know what? That's who I am, baby. 40 years, I'm not gonna change. My mom was in labor for 40 hours with me. I am a comfy, snug in a bug, don't wanna get up and go gal.
What's the phrase? A herkle-durkle?
Herkle-durkling, yeah. When you should get out of bed, but you just keep
You're herkle-durkling.
So Kramer got a hot tub.
I don't know what to say to that. Can you get a hot tub in your apartment?
Was it an inflatable hot tub with wood like built in around it.
Who's going to install that though? Kramer?
I guess he did.
Hmm.
Did he also get all the candles and like tiki torches from the guy?
There's a lot going on there. And then the industrial heat pump was like a furnace.
Yep.
You just plug that into the wall.
I can't mentally picture Kramer's apartment, but I feel like the minute you open the door, the heat pump is right there.
Yeah.
And then the hot tub is behind it.
Yeah. I don't think we ever see very much more of Kramer's apartment ever.
We did see over his bed a sign from the Jungfrau Railway.
I saw that, yeah.
It's in the Swiss Alps. I didn't mark like what elevation it goes at, but there is an ascent, and half of the power they need for every ascent is recovered from the descent.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And they have snowblower trains with the big corkscrew. Although most of it is in a tunnel.
I imagine the corkscrew would help with the tunnel.
Well, you don't get a lot of blowing snow in there.
What if it was filled with rocks? Jerry refers to the hot tub as a human bacteria frap.
You laughed out loud.
Is that frappuccino? Is it a short form of frappuccino, or is frap another thing that I'm not familiar with?
A frappe?
A frappe? Like a coffee?
A frappe is a Greek iced coffee drink, apparently. No, he's probably talking about because I don't think Starbucks had frappuccinos at that point, or they weren't in the zeitgeist.
But maybe it was a reference to how Kramer had just gotten the cafe latte.
Oh, right. Cafe latte.
Yeah. So I think the George, if you look annoyed, people assume you're busy is a little bit of an iconic thing. What do you think about this, the reps in from Houston storyline going on?
I wrote, George, A-okay. George is not interesting when things are going well for him.
Yeah. Things are going pretty well.
Yeah. He's getting more money. He gets to do the crossword. Nobody bothers him. So, yawn.
Go out drinking with a bunch of Texans.
He didn't get his comeuppance at all. He didn't get embarrassed. Like, he's yelling on the phone at the end.
I guess the comeuppance was he had to take a hot tub with his boss. I
mean, FaceTime with the boss is priceless, isn't it? And they're literally facing each other in this couple's hot tub.
That was like I've seen this style of hot tub where it's like a lounge seat where you're facing like another lounge seat. It doesn't seem all that relaxing.
I don't know. Hot tubs are just weird. Like, unless it's a huge one, you're going to be sitting pretty close to other people. And if it's going to be just you and your partner, you might as well get the lounge seat where you face each other.
Yes.
But if you're in like a square or circle hot tub, everyone's feet are collected in the middle.
It's like a communal bath. Yeah.
I still would like to get a hot tub.
No.
Just one of those barrel
The history
ones.
of this house with water, no.
I didn't say inside.
No.
Put it
No.
in there. Okay.
Won't get a sauna.
So I guess they're talking about wake-up calls because, okay, this is already when he got the call from Jean-Paul. And Jerry takes Jean-Paul to a hotel. Jean-Paul's like, great, I want to go to sleep. Jerry's overacting, making a big show of setting the alarm, choosing the music. Adult contemporary. And then he's going to do the backup wake-up call. And I wrote down, they sit in a room with a big clock all night long, waiting to make that call.
It's exactly what wake-up call people do.
And he offends the wake-up call guy and says, no, we got to go back to my place. And wouldn't he give Jean-Paul his bed or pull out the couch for him?
You would think so.
If he was so concerned with his well-being and getting up rested for his race?
There was a line that I was thinking of from Community that applied to Jerry, and it was, I know the stakes aren't really that high, but somehow That just makes it scarier.
Yeah. I did like Elaine's literary journey when she comes back to her apartment and Jean-Paul's not there. And then she goes like searching through the streets with her inner monologue. And then she looks down the Himalayan walking boots. She has it.
Do you want to do a dramatic reading?
Yeah. Elaine. Oh, I'm exhausted. I've been on this street 1,000 times. It's never looked so strange. The face is so cold. In the distance, a child is crying, fatherless. A bastard child, perhaps. My back aches. My heart aches. But my feet... Stops to look at her feet. My feet are resilient. Thank God I took off my heels and put on my Himalayan walking shoes.
Thanks. Well, we're going to be seeing a lot of actresses, but we'll be in touch.
Oh. Our daughter likes my dramatic reading of her bedtime story, I'll have you know.
When I do it, she's always like, oh, you got to do the voices that Mummy does. And I'm like, I don't know what the voices that Mummy does are.
You inhabit the character. Duh.
Okie dokie.
There's a big Canadian flag at the race. Then I wrote hot tub for 2. That was my last note.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't touch on Lane letting it slip that her neighbor was having a bastard child.
Yeah. Casual swearing.
There's a couple of inconsistencies. Like Kramer says we're going to get this hot tub up to 120 degrees. Then later on they show a thermometer and it's only at 105.
Yeah.
I believe, I don't know about at this time, but I know my parents' hot tub, the like legal safe limit is 105 degrees. But the guy that installed it was like, oh, well, you can like adjust the thermometer by like stripping the wires and pulling them out a bit so that it doesn't get as good a reading and it'll go like higher, which I think is a pretty bad idea.
Yeah. Hey, you want this new thing that you bought to be really dangerous?
Well, just to be hotter.
I think 105 is hot enough.
I could go hotter.
God.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think to enter the New York City Marathon, you have to qualify with another race.
Yeah.
So they said John Paul hadn't ran a race in 3 years. So how's he running in the New York City Marathon?
Maybe he hadn't run one of like the big ones, but he ran a qualifying race.
Could be.
In Trinidad and Tobago.
Also, I don't think 2 minutes for a muffin in a microwave is all that unreasonable. It's probably a little long, but I don't
just
think
to warm it up. You don't.
I don't think it
20
would.
seconds.
I don't think it would burn the muffin.
If it's got pieces of fruit, those could burn.
Yeah, I think that was a chocolate chip muffin.
Oh, you don't think that that fatty chocolate's gonna spark?
I don't think it's gonna spark.
Well, it's gonna burn.
We put a takeout coffee cup in our microwave to warm it up, and it lit on fire.
I guess it has foil inside?
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I've never seen that before.
Okay, either the cup is like thermally lined with foil inside the 2 layers of paper, or the like, you know, the BPA coated paper or whatever it is, or it was a hot chocolate. Maybe all the sugar settled to the bottom and it got like too hot.
To burn paper?
Cup. I don't know.
Haven't you seen the experiment where you boil water in a paper cup?
In a paper cup?
Yeah. Under a flame?
No.
No.
You
can do that.
I've seen it where you just put like a Pyrex of water in the microwave and it superheats it. And it explodes.
Because it's so smooth that there's no nucleation point.
Yeah.
But you can boil water in a paper cup because the flame, like the water is cooling the paper down below its ignition point, but it's higher than the water's boiling point.
My eyes glazed over as soon as you started saying that.
Yeah, science.
The flame is above the paper cup?
No, the flame is below the paper. You're putting the paper cup into the fire.
Oh. Cool.
Anyways, don't put hot chocolates from Cinnaholic in your microwave.
Did you like that cinnamon bun?
No.
It was vegan?
Yeah.
I'd say I haven't had a cinnamon bun in like 20 years. So I was like, this is a cinnamon bun.
I've made you cinnamon buns.
I meant from the store.
Oh.
Yours are obviously better. Don't worry.
If somebody says, I haven't had a cinnamon bun in 20 years, I'm like, I made them 20 years.
I meant Cinnabon.
Oh, okay. Sure.
So I don't know. I don't remember what that tastes like.
Yeah, I don't know. It was...
The icing was chunky?
I think the icing might have been made with almond milk.
Yeah.
And you could kind of taste that.
Mm-hmm.
And the dough, in my opinion, needed higher fat content.
They probably weren't using butter.
As a vegan cinnamon bun, I assume they weren't.
I didn't know they were vegan.
Yeah.
How it all began. It's a vegan cookbook I used to have.
Oh, okay.
When I was vegan. Everything in it was disgusting.
A cold winter's night in Timbuktu.
Elaine is like squeezing the shoe, trying to get the copy out of it.
Just like it's going to liquefy and like turn into words on her page. All right, what you got up for next week?
Next week is the Soup Nazi.
Never heard of it.
What's it about? Maybe you should ask me what it's about.
Yeah, what's the Soup Nazi about?
So there's a new soup place in the neighborhood, and the guy, the main guy at the soup place,
chef.
Well, I don't know if he's the cashier or the chef or the
okay
sommelier.
Sure.
He requires you to order in a certain way. And if you don't get any soup.
Mm-hmm. And he screams out his famous catchphrase, "You don't get any soup."
I have one correction.
Okie dokie.
We were talking about the Alomars.
Mm-hmm.
Sandy Alomar Jr. played for the Indians in 1995.
Oh, okay, sure.
So that was definitely him at home plate.
He played for the Padres at some point.
At some point.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's all.
We flew recently, and we were in the lounge of the airport, and the doors went all the way down to the floor.
Oh, man. Doors to the floor. Doors to the high ceiling. It was luxury. I came back from the bathroom, and I was like, you have to go. Those
were like little toilet rooms. They weren't like stalls. I think those were different.
They were perfect. Perfect.
They were fine.
So what? You would rather have less distance between you and the next?
I do like it, but I do think it is different than a stall with a door all the way to the floor.
Fine.
And then I didn't tell. Apparently, I don't want to go into this, but there was a story my dad once told me about how he was at a restaurant and somebody was squeezing like lemon over their lobster or fish or something, and it got him right in the eye.
Did it cause hilarious consequences for his work life?
No, but like the waiter was really apologetic.
Well, bye.
Next. Believe it or not, this is our podcast. Please subscribe at the end. If you subscribed, we would be happy. Please subscribe to us. Believe it or not, it's our podcast.
Is that a Seinfeld reference?